Welcome to day 4 of CubesOS and 3MDev Mini Summit 2020. I'm very happy that we survived till like 4th session. Today we will have, so I'm Piotr Król, I will be your host. I will moderate this discussion. We will have today 2 members of CubesOS team that will present information about testing and developing CubesOS. So this is the plan for today. We will start with a presentation around 30 minutes, then 15 minutes discussion between CubesOS and 3MDev team. We will take also some questions from chat. Then second presentation, another discussion, another questions from chat, and then like general discussion about CubesOS testing and development. And I believe we will try at the end to have some summary, what this CubesOS mini summit gave us, what maybe some small promises for the next CubesOS, and we will see where we can go from that point. So I will pass control to Frederick, which will provide first presentation.
Yes, so let's start. Okay, I think it's good. Okay, so first of all, I would like to thank 3MDev for let me the opportunity to talk about how we build CubesOS, how we do that almost daily. Today, I will talk about some kind of overview of what compose cubes in terms of development cube bricks. I don't know the exact word, but that will lead me to get some examples, some interactive demo how we start any feature, any fix, etc. Then I will have the opportunity to talk about what we plan with tools we have and tools we developed. And then, as Peter said, we can exchange more advanced point of what you can have in mind, etc. So first of all, my name is Frédéric Pierret. So I come from the research of mathematics world. I'm interested in some kind of modeling problem in mathematics and especially in space dynamics. And at some point, I went through how we need to construct operating system and how we can do that in the more efficient way. And this is where I came with cubes almost 4 years ago, and I never come back to it. So if you want some reference, can reach me on GitHub and also on my email provided here. So let's go to the interesting point. CubesOS. What is CubesOS? So if I can say in a few words that in your daily activities on application and your computer, etc., you have some needs of interacting with, for example, web browser, email, etc. You need to use your devices. And Cubes is some kind of orchestrator, some kind of layer between all of this. It ranges from for example, you using your USB key, using any other device like GUI, your video and audio, etc. And so this is mostly what Cubes, we said it's not an operating system as is, it's also what we call an abstraction layer for hypervisor. So here you heard a lot about Xen, which is currently the primary hypervisor that we support. But it's more than just saying you use just one hypervisor. It allows to use another kind of isolation provider, like in the near future, we hope, like KVM, etc. So this is a kind of the big picture of what Cubes is between your application that you use every day and your devices. So in terms of what compose Cubes, first of all, there is some privileged domain that you know, which is called DOM0 from the legacy naming of Xen. Currently, it is Fedora. So So it happens a lot of time that on the list we have some people saying, why do you use Fedora as your DOM zero? Because FreeBSD will be such this, Debian is more that, or my killing distro is also much better than Fedora. Yes, probably, and we also agree of a lot of points, but historically it went from that, the fact that Fedora used to cover a large hardware collection of that it can support. And currently, as of today, we don't have much time to spend on changing DOM zero for notably one reason that we are going to move out DOM zero interaction very, very soon. So this is why we focus on moving on other topics that probably also Marek we have the opportunity to talk about. And from the application side, so here from the VM side, we support almost every common distribution from Fedora to even soon Linux from scratch. We went through some very interesting operating system like Mirage, which is very useful at firewall as a firewall component. So because it's minimal, so it has been talked in the previous session, and also distribution. So when we speak about building cubes, when we speak about components of cubes, we have in mind mostly three aspects, which is we have some specific DOM zero components, which is more than the DOM zero itself. It also concerns, for example, the Xen hypervisor itself. There will also components that we have, which is both DOM zero and the VM side, which are like the daemons, the cube daemons. There is agents, so which are in VM, etc. And there is also specific VM components, like every cube tools, which are developed and made especially for your daily interaction with application and with your VMs. And of course, there is also desktops, which are almost soon only VM specific. So when you want to try developing, when you want to try to do something on cubes, I think like most people, you go on the the main website of the project, and then you switch directly on GitHub. And when you go to GitHub of CubesOS, you try to search what is the main entry point, what is the main component to use. At least this is what I'm doing. And when you try to write cubes, you see there is a lot of components. But in fact, that's not horrible as it seems. There is in fact just one component which we are interested in. It's called the Cubes Builder. Cubes Builder is a very particular component. For what? Cubes Builder, in fact, is some kind of main place to be for working on cubes, because it allows you to build every individual package you want to create or you want to build. It's responsible, of course, to publish those packages on a repository. You can also, with the Cubes Builder, create your templates, so your VMs. Every distribution that I showed you previously, it's exactly at this place that you can build them. It builds also the final ISO images that you use to set up like any other operating system installation. So this is why I say that this is all-in-one place for either working or releasing at the release manager point of view. We have two kind of pipeline in mind when we see the Cubes Builder, at least from our side. There is, of course, a production pipeline. So this is where when we start from sources, so GitHub, and then it reaches the repository. In between, there is some kind of component which is called Cubes Infrastructure. This one is very particular because, in fact, if we look at GitHub or if we look at the documentation, there is some doc about what is this component, which is in fact, our kind of factory orchestrating the builder itself to say, okay, I have some new commits for such component. I want to pull the sources, I want to build, I want to sign, I want to release. So in fact, Kube infrastructure use KubeBuilder as main entry point too, but it's like continuous integration. For example, if you take the case of GitLab, etc., this is some kind of Kube's continuous integration and continuous delivery. But also, as I said, KubeBuilder is especially useful for any developer, which allows to create your development pipeline. So you have some nice feature. You start at KubeBuilder point. One thing to understand is that we need this component because every source that you can have on GitHub, for example, in all the the 100 and etc. component you have on GitHub, this is not source which are buildable as is. It means that if you take these sources in any other way of building, for example, RPM or Debian, you cannot exactly for all sources do that because we need some kind of preparation. And this is what I will explain you and show you just now. So this time is time for interactive demonstration of what is exactly KubeBuilder. So just switching to the terminal. Okay. So let me also change of VMs. Okay. So here, as I said, the main entry point is KubeBuilder. So as you want to do as usual, you just clone the KubeBuilder on github.com on the repository KubeBuilder. Sorry. Okay. You go into the KubeBuilder and you have a look on what composes the KubeBuilder. So there is several files. There is some make files, especially because historically and currently, of course, all building pipelines are made of Makefile languages. So we use Makefile for building things currently. Everything you build, everything you have some logs, they will fall here. You have some packages created, they will fall also here, for example, in your Kube's package mirror repo. So here is your local repository. And so on, also some managing case, etc., related to how we pull source, etc. So what someone will be interested in is what there is in example config for every starter. If you go into this source, you see that you have several config files which serves as example. I will focus on, for example, on the release of KubeOS the latest, for example. So if I check what is inside so those example config, this is why here it will be important to see and to understand what everything you will put in this particular config file. The builder will understand it and will, of course, will use it as any other tools. So first of all, this is, as I remember, it's a Makefile language. You have two first important variables which say, where are my sources? As you can see, it's GitHub. You can host any other source for your repository. For example, you can host GitLab, etc. There is some kind of prefix that we define like this, because we refer for any component in the KubeBuilder without the prefix cubes, of course, that simplify typing things, first of all. There is another particular variable which is called backend VMM. As I recall, I said earlier that currently, of course, we have Xen, but in the near future, we are going to support KVM. So it will be, for example, here KVM as backend, because depending of the backend, depending on the relation provider, it will be some adjustment of the packages, of course. There is some variable which is here called dist dom0, saying that which dom0 I'm considering. So here it's relating to the Fedora distribution. So it's a short name for Fedora Core 32 here, and also what VMs I want to build packages. I could say exactly here, for example, I don't care about building any packages for this for VMs, and I say, okay, I just want to focus on DOM0. That's it. For example, I can say, I just want to build for the latest Fedora my packages. Okay. There is also, I will show you here this variable, but it's not very important. The important point after is a variable called components. Components are exactly what you are interested in, which is what are my components I want to build. As you can see, there is a lot of components in cubes that we build. And those I just show you, which is called measurement components, are all the salt related components. So for briefly saying that we use some kind of technology which is called salt to like a Puppet or etc. To deploy easily VMs in cubes. So which salt was chosen in the past, so we keep some reference to measurement -salt to refer to salt components. Okay, I have my list of components I'm interested in. There is also some variables which are important, which are called builder plugins, because without those specific variables which refer to specific components of cubes here, as you can see, the builder itself cannot understand what you want to do with the component here. For example, you want to build, I don't know, this component, Linux PV2. You need to specify to give to the builder some side builder, because it's exactly that. It's some supplementary builder who will understand what will be put in your sources to prepare them. As I recall, the sources are not prepared as is. You need to prepare them, so you need plugins to prepare them. And some other related variables, especially here for templates, alias, etc., for saying that, for example, FC29 is just an alias for Fedora. Okay, so for example, now I want to imagine, I want simply to build, saying arbitrarily grub2. I want to build, for example, only, let's say, application Linux, which is responsible to converting PDF, and that's it, without forgetting to not remove the builder itself, of course, and the builder's plugin, because else the builder will not be able to pull the builder plugin source, and you will be able to do nothing. Okay, so here will be some kind of minimal, and we also add VMs, because I want to show you that there is also components especially for VMs, notably PDF converter. So, okay. If I do melee, no, there is another step that, okay, I modify the source example, but I will just need to copy this file into the root of the Qt Builder to the file called builder.conf. Okay, it's here. If I write make, I have some lot of things. Here is a help. It's saying that I want to build cubes. So in fact, I want to build all components. I want to build all components related either to DOM0, either to VMs, or I want to restrict the build currently to either component which will be defined as only DOM0, that I will show you how it is defined in each component, and also with especially to VM, and also a lot of targets related to singing, related to cleaning, related to releasing, etc. And one thing you have to focus is that your builder has understand that you want to focus on grub2, application Linux, so the PDF converter, etc. Those side components are to be ignored. So I've created my builder my builder configuration file. Now I want to pull the sources. Okay, I just have to say, please builder, get the sources. So here you can see some things happening. In fact, it's importing the CubeOS master key, public of course, to check for each predefined URL, the predefined sources I will pull are the tags signed. Are the tags signed by the official release manager. So here, generally for CubesOS, it's only Marek. So it's fetching, you have some information of what he's doing, okay, he's verifying tag, etc. He's downloading extra source because you have some source on GitHub, and you have also some external source like Grub. Grub2 is not an exclusive product of Cubes. We have some Grub2, but it's a modification of the original one, and I will show you that. So where are my sources pulled? They are in the folder called Cube Sources. If I go into this folder, I have only the sources I have chose to work on. Now, if I go, for example, in the first one, which is called the PDF converter, I can see, so of course, my sources. And so at this point, the more important file to understand, to have in a Cube source component is a file called makefile.builder. This file is responsible to say to the main builder that there is something to do here. If you remember, I talked to you about plugins a few moments ago, and this is exactly what the builder will use to ask to every plugin which are available if it's supposed to do something or not. If we look at this file called makefile.builder, we can see few important information. For example, Cubes Builder exposes some variable called package set. We say, okay, which type of component we want to build. Here there is DOM0. Here we have some VM. And in each case, there is some particular variable also defined. Here, for example, there is some RPM spec files. For the VM parts, there is some Debian build years, etc. So these particular variables are in fact understood by the builder RPM for this one. Builder RPM knows that you have defined some particular file to check, to consider for RPM. And for builder Debian, it knows that there is some particular things to do here for Debian too. And of course, also for the VM part, there is also something to do. As you can see here, we are configuring two spec files. I will focus on spec to show you what's going on. So here the builder will have a look to this. What is this file? So let's check what is this file. It's in RPM spec. But if you can see, there is no spec file. You can say it's going to do nothing. In fact, this is exactly where when I said there is no prepared source, that the Cubes Builder is going to prepare the sources. In fact, if we check, for example, the DOM0 spec file, which is called, which have a suffix .in, it's a pre-spec file, some kind of, to say, okay, there will soon be a spec file. But what's inside the spec file? It looks almost like it's a spec file almost, with some strange variables. So after the makefile.builder, if you consider building some RPM spec file, for example, there will be some kind of spec.in file to create. And there will be some magical variables like version. You can see some arrobas, version arrobas. Normally, there will be also in this this builder, you can have some release like this. Oh, it's funny, I cannot write arrobas. Okay, well, never mind. Which is called arrobas rel, R-E-L, like a release, okay? And also at the end, there is some magical variable called changelog. In fact, when the builder will call to build this component, it will ask to builder RPM to consider this component. So it will understand that there will be some spec file to render, and it will render this spec file using these magic variables defined generally as the source of as the root of the component here, version. So version, what is inside version here? So this version will be used to replace the magical variable arrobas version in the spec file, and will render it. and then the final spec file will be created. So, for example, if I want now to build this spec file, I will just go to another builder that I prepared earlier, because when we want to build something, there is some CH route which are created, and it will take a lot of time to prepare them because there are lots of things to download and to install. So I just prepared in previously the things. If I just show you, I almost use the same components. grub2, oh, here it was Thunderbird. Okay. So here, if I do what I has made just before, I want to build, for example, here app Thunderbird. I just have to say, please make app Thunderbird. So okay, you can see it's doing a few things. It's refreshing also some CH root component. Don't worry, don't get away from this. It's normal. You see, it's saying that it's building app Thunderbird here for Debian, because I also chosen to build packages for Debian. And now it's going to prepare the Fedora 32 environment for building for the component for this. You can see it's building it, saying it is rendering the Thunderbird cube spec, etc. Specifically, you can see that every log files are, as I said, in the main builder. Here, if you go to the build logs repository, you have all the log built of your components, so you can, of course, inspect if something went wrong and anything else. So where are my packages now? I've built my packages, for example, Thunderbird. I told you that it was in the repository, in the folder called Cubes package mirror repo. So if I list this package mirror repo, I see that I have several folders, subfolders, which correspond to each packages I've built for DOM0 here, and each package I built for VMs, which is here Debian Buster, and also for VM, which is for Fedora 32. If I inspect, I can even do something maybe nicer, some tree. Okay, you can see that you have all your built RPM, your Debian build packages, and also here previously I was building some specific grub packages. So now I will give you an example of considering that I don't want to build specifically kube sources. I want to build my components. So for example, in case of anyone who want to, for example, modify grub, like it was the case for 3mdeb a few weeks ago, how my builder.conf, yes, my configuration file should look. If I inspect my builder configuration file here I'm having my different component, environment, dist VM, etc. And so I don't want specifically to clone every repository of cubes because there is a lot of. I just want to focus on grub. So what I'm supposed to do? And first of all, of course, I need to make available the grub2 sources on the GitHub account. So for saying to the cube builder that I want to pull the sources from a specific URL, so here, for example, the 3mdeb account, I just have to add at the end, or in fact, what you want, because it's makefile doesn't important. You have to say, okay, my git URL is a predefined variable. You have to add your component here, grub2, for example, and saying that it will be my URL where to fetch, for example, grub2. You can host the source elsewhere. Also, imagine you have it on GitLab, you replace GitLab or anything else elsewhere. But doing so it will pull sources from the default branch, which is in our case for the latest CubesOS, it's a master branch. But here I want to build my own branch. What I'm supposed to write to build my own branch of grub2? Well, I just have to add another predefined variable, which is called branch, and append also the component like this, and saying that I want to build the trenchboot support branch of grub2. But if I do this, the builder will complain that I can show you, or show you just after eventually, that it's not signed by CubesOS, of course. but maybe one day. We don't know. But so just for developing aspects, I just want to say, please skip the check of is it a signed source of cubes or not. Once again, I have to say, just not check which source component. For example, it could have happened, for example, please don't check apps number 2. Or more generally, if I just want to don't check anything because I'm forking a lot of cubes repository, I don't want to list everything, simply don't check everything. That's it. So doing so, I specified some particular components, some particular version of GRUB2. So I will just remove to show you what's happening here. I remove it, and now I get sources again. I could show you some trick just after. And here you will see that is fetching sources from TrenchBoot branch and also to not verify tags, because as we asked, please don't verify tags. Is pulling source for kernel, and also as before, you can simply make you can make your component GRUB2 and test it by importing it in a local repository elsewhere of the Qubes builder. Okay, so that's it for the first part of the demonstration. So this is very handy tool to use for fetching and building source of cubes. I will switch back to the presentation. A moment, please. Okay. Okay. So I show you the component we use, which is called Qubes Builder currently. We are thinking of developing another one because there is some, currently we have some issue with the current tools. For example, that we are interested in by using tools like Open Build Services developed by OpenSUSE, which is a platform to build packages for multiple distribution, not restricted to RPM, but it allows, for example, to build Debian packages, Arch Linux, etc. A lot of supported distribution. So this falls exactly of what we need at the Qubes level, meaning that we need to support a lot of distribution like any other distribution do. In fact, if you take, for example, Fedora, which has its primary building services, which is called Koji, or now there is some side project to ease some integration of repository and packages, which is called Copper. This is primarily focused on the distribution packages. So for Fedora, it's RPM, of course. But here, we cannot focus on those tools because those tools are too oriented to specific distribution. So, as I said, one of the problems of our current implementation with the builders is that, from contrary to other distribution, we cannot take the source as is and say, okay, please build this for me. If we take the case of Open Build Service, because Open Build Service will do simply pulling sources and try to build how it knows to build, for example, RPM, etc. There is some intermediate process to perform, and this is what notably motivates us to change or review how we can create a new builder to easily improve the use of other very interesting building infrastructure. We want to keep some modular aspects. It means that we want to, in your builder, to have some plugin for, of course, managing sources. This is the primary goal of Qubes Builder, is to first of all manage sources, then, of course, building the packages. I've not say a point that is that when you build packages by default, like I show you in Qubes, it uses some legacy CH root creation. It means that we create from scratch some CH root, but for a production pipeline, we use the tools called Mock or PayBuilder of Mock for RPM and PayBuilder for Debian distribution that have the inner way of creating CH root, especially useful for producible builds. So for a daily build of cubes, when you work on the feature, personally I don't use this because it's very heavy in terms of preparation and build, etc. So this is not, at least this is something we want to preserve. Of course, we want to preserve the production pipeline with such tool because a lot of work has been done, as I said, for reproducible builds, and those tools are very useful for that. Of course, we want plugins for releasing. It seems dummy affirmation, but it's normal. But we work on also some plugins, for example, to help us in maintaining some external project like kernel or every component we use from Fedora, like installer components, Anaconda, etc., for helping us to update each component easily. For example, in the case for the kernel is automatically built every week for all the stable branch we consider, even the master branch. So it's kind of a separate plugin that we have, but this is not very easy. In fact, the current Makefile language, the current implementation of the builder does not allow such kind of very exotic work as any other kind of continuous integration will do or any other build platform. It's not enough modular in this way. And so we have some idea of how we can improve the current way of building things with Cube. There is some POC currently. For example, we start to work on some Python client instead of the Cube builder itself. So Python client has the main entry with some side client also in Python to have the role of plugin. Also for development pipelines, something which will be useful, as you remember, I told you that I needed to prepare some before some CH root because it takes time. With Docker, it will be just some very striking feature to have this, because building into Docker, you can profit of having some cache layer, etc., for building. And so it's not like sometimes we are facing that when your CH root is how I can say, you have messed up a lot of installation of RPMs or packages into your CH root. That breaks a lot of things. You need to clean it, you need to recreate it, so it takes a few minutes. So with Docker, that will not be the case. It just flush and relaunch another Docker. So what we want to do also is to help in publishing sources, like also other distribution, that we will have some intermediary repository. So it means that we take every source of cubes, every components we built, and we prepare them with a proper release tag, proper release version, etc. And also this for integrating it in other build platform like OpenBuild services I talked about earlier. And especially an important thing will be all the community of cubes ID, which could help us to help us and also profit of their experience, to see, okay, what will be in fact what I will see, what I have as feedback of building a huge project, how I do that, etc. How we can improve the building of cubes thanks to every idea of cube user and cube developer. Thank you for your invitation.
Okay, thank you, Frederic. That was really interesting. I believe we have quite a lot to discuss, I believe.
Yeah.
So probably let's start with maybe how you would, for me, important is, for example, how I would change the DOM 0. Like if I would like to change DOM 0 to Debian, and okay, let's say I can build everything, but how I deploy those results in a way that I will not completely destroy my system.
So in fact, so there is two questions. The first, which is how we choose DOM 0. That's your point. So first of all, the main reason that we currently does not switch DOM 0 to any other distribution is that, as you know, may know soon, that we are going to move out almost every devices which are attached to DOM 0, which remain here only the GPU, because USB or network components are all in separate VMs, even audio components now. And the only remaining one is the GPU. So the GUI using is going to move out DOM 0 because, in fact, the main issue currently and the lot of work we have as a release packager, maintainer, etc., is that we need to package a lot of things for DOM 0, especially for desktops. And it's kind of pain to follow every version, newer version, and migration for especially for DOM 0 packages, because when you want to install a new release of Qubes, in fact, somewhere we are linked to Fedora release schedule, even if it's not important. In fact, for example, previous Qubes version was Fedora 23. It was a lot of Fedora version in the past, because in fact we build ourselves the main components of DOM 0, which are Xen, which are kernels, which are also some desktop components, of course, but it's not how I could say that. We all want some fresh, some almost new components for the main desktop, the main things we see, which is currently DOM 0. But we are moving that into VMs. And so the DOM 0 could be soon a minimal systems. It will be just having some basic components like, of course, Xen, KVM, and also the main Qubes components. We will not have this overload of maintaining two sides of problematic, which is one DOM 0 main part, so the isolation provident part, and also the in-between user part, which concerns desktop, etc. So this is for your question about DOM 0. And the second, can you remind me the second question, please?
The second question is how to securely deploy new packages and like not destroy your system if you're trying something.
So in fact, this is not very easy because I don't count how many times I screwed up my computers because I was almost certain that my feature would work, especially when you try to modify some core components like the admin, etc. So in fact, we don't set up. I personally, I don't set up anymore in my primary desktop. We set up a lot of in VMs. In fact, we set up Qubes into VMs. Marek will tell you about that soon. So, for example, in my case, what I'm doing is I'm setting a lot of Qubes VMs into KVM. So what I'm doing is that I'm profiting the fact of, for example, having QCO snapshot, etc., to easily test and going back into my attempt. And this all because in between I've set up a particular mirror, personal mirror, local repository that I sign with my own key, with my own key. So when I set up the Qubes builder for particular components, I set up some, so there is documentation about that, of course, how to set up your own packages, signature, publishing, releasing, etc. to ease exactly test, this attempt of including new things. So what I suggest is to having, of course, not your main desktop to test core components, but to profit virtualization, because cubes we can now easily kind of use, for example, KVM, which is a lot of easy setuping hypervisor for testing. The cubes behave mostly well if you have some IOMMU support for your KVM hypervisor. You can set up easily some test cubes VMs. So this is you can develop. And
is this described somewhere? Like, I believe like there should be some developers documentation that kind of simplifies this workflow because like it,
yes,
yeah. So it would be very helpful.
Yes, when you scroll on the documentation section, there is a page called Development Workflow, and you have described how you how to create separate repository, install updates, and stuff like that. There is no, at least at this place, description how to install in a VM.
Yes, we need to do that. Yes, we need to set up to provide some useful documentation that can be SALT or easy copy paste script. But I think we have some improvement.
The problem with VMs is about stability. It works kind of okay on Intel with KVM, with recent version of QEMU, but this is something that only recently started to be stable, including IOMMU emulation, stuff like that. For most of the time, we simply use separate physical machine for running tests, and preparing a machine for convenient running tests conveniently is also described in the documentation. There is the page called Test Environment in Separate Machine for Automatic Tests.
Okay.
So virtual machines is something that only recently started to actually work.
I think we can also provide some some step-by-step ease. I know I know that the documentation need to be a little bit updated, etc. for not having a lot of things to prepare, because Cubes Builder integrates itself the way of managing repository. So this is what I'm doing. For example, I'm just saying I'm pushing to a known Cubes Builder repository, but it's just not the Cubes repository itself. It's a side mirror that I can easily copy paste Cubes repo definition, etc., just to change the base URL, and that's it. So it's also another way of testing packages with some side repository.
Yeah, yes, I'm asking because
make it easy, because currently setting up the environment takes several hours. Once you do that, then development is kind of easy, but the initial setup is quite elaborate. I think my setup includes configuration and services in several different VMs, and there is also some, I have a separate network for running test machines and stuff like that. It takes time to set it up.
Yeah, I'm just asking because, as Marek, you know, I tried this VMM modifications for SRTM, and if I would like to move that or move DRTM work further, that definitely would mean that I will break things often, and I would like to, okay, I can have that on real hardware, but then I have to have ability to rapidly recover whatever state I landed in.
Yes, that's right. Specifically about testing features like that, if you depend on some specific hardware feature, I would definitely go to testing on separate physical machine, not in virtual environment, because virtualization nested virtualization and emulating very specific devices is something that is very unstable. And you don't really know if you are debugging your patch or the actual bug in QEMU or Zen or something.
Yes, indeed. That's happened a lot of times. Just recently, for example, the new version of GCC makes a lot of troubles to run either the Linux kernel or the Xen kernel. So that's something that that could happen when you use virtualization. But maybe a point to add is that with the newer version of Qubes, so the R4.1, we have split out the DOM0 root file system, so you can easily snapshot it for testing. And so it's just a matter of accessing for example, the remote server console, if you have like Elo or like EDRAC, etc., to just do some manipulation to the grub eventually if you don't manage to change the grub. But if you manage to change what's inside DOM0, you can use your previous snapshot to restore it most quickly, kind of. So, for example, we tested it with Marek with an upgrade which went not that well. So he managed to restore the DOM0 of a physical laptop, of course, kind of easily. So this is a new possibility of testing Qubes on real hardware without not that much things to restore here. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Using LVM really helps here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, understood. So I would like to take the question from Dominic, which is in chat. Is Docker an idea or a work in progress?
Yes, it's I've tested as inline commands to. So the idea here, the Qubes builder, what he's doing, if you clone the Qubes builder locally on your VM, it will create some CH root in the Qubes builder. And what we want to do, we want to replace those CH root created by a Docker images. So in fact, it's a matter of having some prepared images of a Docker, and then you mount into the Docker your local repository. So here it was, for example, Qubes package mirror repo, and also the sources itself. And then you run your Docker, which is known that he has to build components specified, for example, by environment variable, etc. So here it's at the status of POC. But I think we could release some kind of testing tools in the next weeks. But in fact, we just stopped recently to do that because we want to take time to think about what we want in the next steps at the building steps tools, kind of. So I think we can, yes.
Yeah, I believe, Marek, you know my kind of position on that like more building systems is not good for anyone. But of course, like I believe this discussion will take years to get some unification. But getting back, so Docker is, I will love Docker. Like we use Docker in many projects. Dockerizing build environment is very easy. It is easy to version. It is easy to distribute across the across multiple parties. It gives ability to separate yourself from underlying operating system. For example, I had some issues with chroot, which were probably related to the fact that I'm using Debian. I know, Marek, that you saw those struggles that I had, or maybe this was a little bit different.
But I think we run recently to issues, for example, to have a particular Fedora version to build something. It was still related to some links between the host VM of the Qubes builder itself, which was resulting of a wrong packaging version. So we try to fix this in some way, but in fact, yes, using Docker for such things is very easy to say we fix a version of the environment where the package will be built, and we have almost no problems with that. Yeah, so that's why Docker is a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah, we should get rid
so
of.
The idea is.
Yeah, Marek.
Yes, because currently KubesBuilder prepares CH root environment for the actual build, but the initial steps are still done outside of the CH root, which is your host system, and it requires quite a lot of tools like RPM, some scripts, for example, to build Debian template, you need to have the Bootstrap installed and stuff like that. And while in ideal world, those tools would be available everywhere in the latest version, we are not living in such ideal world. So we think of some way to make it more independent from your host system, and one of ideas is to use Docker.
Docker or Podman, of course, any technology which is, for example, Fedora asked to try to move to Podman as much as possible because there is some trouble with Docker and cgroup, etc. But yes, it's mostly about container application environment. We want to set up things to move on. As you said, it's easy to manipulate Dockers and do things into. So yes.
Yeah, hopefully, like improving this build system stuff could potentially increase the contribution to KubesOS, and definitely, like if we as 3MDev will do something and will move on with improvements related, for example, to topics discussed during this mini summit, I believe like we will contribute at least maybe some improvements to guides or maybe also some results of our work. So it depends. We will talk probably more about that at the end. Okay, so I believe like we can ask internally, like Michał, Norbert, like I believe like you recently faced quite a lot of stuff in development in KubesOS. Like, do you have any questions to Frederic? Maybe this is best time right now.
Maybe one post-mortem conclusion. I think this presentation should be the first week, so it would avoid us kind of struggles to set up the building environment and the development workflow.
I hope you remind the example I showed you that it was your example, in fact.
Yes, it was mine, but however, it must be noted it's kind of essential example. Like without this, one cannot develop new features because how would one work? How to replace some components with their own sources?
Yes. In fact, there is a lot of difficulties. For example, for my just young experience with Cubes when I started 4 years ago, you need to have some kind of bit of faith because we start to such things as you know, you encounter such difficulties that there is a lot of things to manage to handle before actually work, before actually doing something into Cubes itself. So at some point, yes, you have to manage to handle a lot of things at first. And so also another time, this is why if we can ease some tools like using Docker, because a lot of people knows Docker, a lot of people knows how to create Docker, etc. That could ease the next step of starting from scratch to actually work into Cubes and to contribute. Yes.
Yeah, so I see that Dominic also agree with you, Michał, on YouTube chat. Yeah, I can say, okay, that's fine. Like, I agree with that, but we just had to do that at some point. And I believe if we will delay, and I didn't want to force Frederic and Marek to have first presentation, probably it would be hard to meet the deadlines in that way. And yeah, so I believe it would be complicated to change the schedule, or we will move to the CubesOS mini summit starting today, which could not be the best for everyone. So it's kind of trade-off, and hopefully we can use those materials presented by Frederick here and like make next CubesOS mini summit better.
Yes. Well, to be honest, my presentation I've prepared just yesterday, but yeah. Okay.
Talk about meeting deadlines.
Norbert, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I just want to thank you for your presentation. It was really interesting. During my development job, it will be really useful to know how to add our fork for components to build my own CubesOS version. I think I have no particular questions to right now, but I just want to thank you because sure I will use that that knowledge that I know right now.
Don't hesitate,
Yeah.
because there is a lot of aspect, of course, in so few times I didn't have to explain exactly on to have the final ISO, etc. But it's really just a matter of having in mind few elements to move on, and everything is going fine normally.
For sure, I will try to add something to admin core because
Yeah.
I'm working right now at some tools which will allow us to upgrade firmware at Doom Zero.
Yes.
I think maybe here is the question: is there any file or configuration where I have to add my new files which I want to add to specific directories to Doom Zero?
Yes, for Doom Zero, it's Fedora packages, so it's a matter of a spec file. Generally, you have to just check what is in your spec file and how your spec file, how your package is finally built. I mean by that, you can a lot of packages are using a lot of spec file relies on Makefile to do some work, like doing the make something, make build, make install, etc. And adding new files could be through the Makefile itself, saying that when I build packages, my files are going to fall into /var/ somewhere, and to just take care that your file is referenced into the file section of the spec file. So this is mostly just a matter of spec packaging. So you just pull your files into your, for example, core admin, or your component you are modifying, and just reference it into the spec file to be in the final packages to be installed.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, I have an idea. Maybe we should create some example package that just install one text file or something like that.
Yes, probably.
Just to have some easy template contributors can use as an example, because there are quite a bit of boilerplate to.
Yeah, that
create
would
first,
be
yeah.
awesome and really helpful for beginners with that topic.
Yes, especially all the needed Makefile builder things. Is it an external sources? Is it an internal sources? Like, is it specific Cubes code? Is it another project I'm forking and I want to modify for Cube, etc. So there is some particular variable to put in the Makefile .builder thing. So yes, we can make templates to say, okay, this is a component which is purely Cube source, or is this modified component, etc. So yes, I think skeleton of templates is a good idea. You can manage to do this easy, quickly.
Yep.
Okay, so I think we should move on to the next presentation. We're already a couple minutes delayed, but yeah, that was very interesting presentation, Frederick, from you, and thank you very much for this very important knowledge how to start development and how to deploy from our own repositories. I believe we will use that heavily in future. So maybe a couple seconds of technical break, and let's switch to Marek presentation about validation.
Yes.